Huh? I've
Well... Yeah, totally. Ah! Most unfortunate. Actually, indeed. What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you...
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Well, I'd better get going.
Yes, indeed.
It's the moment you remember. Please go through the red door.
Yo.
Come on! What are you gonna do?
Let's go. Hey, come on. Count on it!
Well.
It's true.
Very nice. Well? Thrills, chills, kills! Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. If you can figure out who done it, then only then I'll punish everyone. Okay then, let's talk about...
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a hurt. Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was...
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Chihiro's. It appears it was...
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt...
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, that's wrong!
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell? It was covered in blood. And there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and
You looked at her head wound?
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on, although I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial The culprit is Genocide Jack.
I'm sure.
Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
What's wrong? I might know.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kinda weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget it. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics according to the file. There appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic. And it's something that has never been
made public?
Why don't you tell them?
Shoot! Shoot! I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer. It's because the culprit in this case is the real fucking...
You're saying Genocide Jack?
Yes. In fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko
What? Hey, okay, wait, whole Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial...
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes.
Another riddle.
Now I understand! Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file. They thought that the suspect might have... what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fuka...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely...
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one...
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide...
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me and she said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie.
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised.
You have only yourself to blame. This is the real. Besides, you broke your promise. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
You said if I kept my... That's the only reason.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just could.
I tried.
But your efforts were useless. Well, the opening act is nearly.
The person you...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to what...
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds. Just kidding.
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to... And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck-walk...
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life, so she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very... But sorry! As much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit! But I cannot imagine anyone... Maybe so, maybe so...
Do you really expect any of us...
Yeah! I could never believe a...
But I didn't kill anyone! Shoot! I refuse to give up yet!
say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things. Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, that's wrong! Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage! I murder with passion. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started. This is no creation of mine!
Let me rephrase that. There are two clear differences between... I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right? Ah, yes! That is remarkable. Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail, and there's more?
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Could you please stop comparing killing people to...
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her...
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement! Like I said, I'm a professional! So not... And you know, Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong!
Big Mac? Are you...
Listen up, Big Mac! There's...
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death!
I got it! Is it because...
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They were all... guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full... But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line!
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby, and it's a different matter entirely.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy
Maybe you use the
any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world!
Okay, whatever.
Are you sure about That's right! So I can kill any. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong, you can't. Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question.
I have no idea what's going on anymore!
But the bot.
Yeah.
Shoot! 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 I refuse to give up yet! Are the methods of murder? I think there's...
Well then, human... I murder. I can imagine you go to a fancy Italian... But what happened to be? This is...
Let me... There are I got it! For one, in the court, but Chihiro, wouldn't it be? And there's more.
That's then the arrangement.
Could you please?
I got it! Do you remember what they...
What is it?
Well... Specific...
And like I said, and Big Mac said...
Big Mac?
Listen up, Big...
Huh?
There's a pattern... Figure that out.
I got it! Is it
Bingo!
What are you talking about?
in all the genocide Jack...
They were all guys?
That's right! I can't...
The hell is wrong?
I can't help it! I'm just a full throttle, but now I'm on the fast track.
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill...
Would an Italian I have too much...
We get it. It's a different matter entirely.
Quiet!
Lowly?
I wouldn't... And why would I bother with the message? Plus, who would... Maybe you... Any...
Okay.
Are you... That's right! Why would I... Go ahead, tell me I'm... Not to mention...
I have...
But...
Yeah.
Shoot! here's my answer. Byakuya, if you'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents, plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before. Are you?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of genocide because he wanted to pin the crime on her. So, he rearranged the scene to discuss the adorable glasses man was behind it all?
Well, Byakuya, what?
I see. So now the suspicion, then I must ask. When would you say I began?
The way you were acting right before we discussed. You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right?
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should...
Nothing strange about that.
On the contrary, there's something very...
Okay then, go ahead. Share...
So, you said Byakuya was acting kinda weird before we found the body.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kinda weird, but he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was, but he was acting...
if you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural...
The victim was Chihiro, who... So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kinda weird before we found the body.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kinda weird before we found the body. But he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural...
The victim was Chihiro, so of course I was... There was no time for... What's so strange?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kinda weird, but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural...
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for... What's so strange?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was... but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural...
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
Shoot! I refuse to give up yet!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kinda weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
if you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room...
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out...
That's a natural...
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions.
What's so strange? I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found...
But he was acting... If you're presented with the opportunity...
That's a natural...
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
No, that's wrong! I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, so your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro...
I see. Interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? What's the matter?
There is more. We just talked about the differences between the proof you're looking for is...
Oh?
The difference between the case you want me to explain when I want to kill.
I use my very own
Special scissors.
Shoot!
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
Shoot!
What? The difference between the cases? You want... Want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong! Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, and the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord is...
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord.
That's really what you think? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and I intentionally made it look... Is that about right? What's wrong?
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya...
I don't disagree with not disagree.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally...
Sorry, I think... I know, there's something that's still...
Is that right? I killed her and the girl specifically. What about all that bothers you?
Shoot! I got it! You say you killed Chihiro, but are you sure about that?
How? What kind of question is that? She was found dead in the girls' locker room. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that along with the rest of the murder scene...
The rest of the murder? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have...
I believe I...
Hey! Don't just move on without permission!
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder...
Shoot! Shoot! I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is...
Your proof?
The poster in the girls' locker room was... a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band again. That doesn't really seem to belong in a boys'
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker room. You know what I'm talking about.
You're referring to my protein coffee.
Protein?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
The stain on the girl, in fact...
That's definitely the stain from my
Then, does that mean that the carpets, but...
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible. What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire...
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but...
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching it? Actually, an even bigger question. Then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device, but Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker.
No, she did have a way!
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she...
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong! No, I don't think...
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well then...
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on it.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just...
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys'
Okay then, I vote for
Hold on I agree with you, though.
What the... You finally... There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room.
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in?
What?
What are you talking about?
Well, to explain, why don't we take a little break from the trial?
Wait. Just what do you think?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting.
Huh? Well, all right then. I declare... Now then, what is it you want to show?
Oh, I have no doubt it'll...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom!
I'd like you to examine the victim's body. Be sure to examine the...
Examine her... No, wait!
It's not that I'm...
Very well.
But you're a girl.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave the...
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action?
That's not it at all.
Okay, I'm sorry, Chihiro.
Be sure to check her and...
Her entire body? What?
What is it?
Not possible. This
Is what?
is...
I see.
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then... It's really true?
Chihiro was... a guy?
So what, you guys didn't know? Chihiro Fujisaki was
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, brilliant!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was—
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl. And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boy.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be—
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and—
So then, there should be no issue with the victim was killed in the boys' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but...
Well, I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his—
This is the most titillating—
So now everything has been—
Okay, well, connected or clear or...
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've—
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like genocide, but I think he might not actually— What? But he just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like the way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with—
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with—
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too— how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord. At least— And Byakuya, when you found out the murder, and then again when you found out Chihiro, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have—
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers— It's fine. I guess I'll mark—
Mark it as...
He's right. I just happened to come across—
Are you fucking with us?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard—
Go ahead. Find it very hard—
If you're really telling—
My reasons hardly matter right now. Now then.
Well, you're seriously gonna keep going?
No, I'm with Makoto, because if we're wrong—
That's true.
Damn straight.
Do you not have a mind?
Of course I do.
Anyway, let's discuss this—
That's very—
Our lives are all—
Excellent. Then shall we—
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Shoot!
Isn't there a single clue that might—
Did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Shoot!
Isn't there
A single clue?
Well, did nobody get... I'm sure someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim.
Yeah. All we need right now.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
No, it's wrong! I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Really?
Oh, but I suppose the rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're...
Whatever! Just turn...
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory where... I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck... Chihiro told me he was... But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then there were...
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times. And he...
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret.
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with enough so that he was willing to risk it.
Oh, what a marvelous! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right?
So, but knowing what we know, I can't even...
No. You already have what...
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously? Who is it?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag to focus on the details of these items.
Are you sure? You really...
Quiet!
Even if we have... As was...
Maybe, but we...
Easy for you to say, but fine. Select.
The bag was... just a no... All the bags in there are the same.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits. Do you think there might be some...
Perhaps.
First of all, we know that Chihiro was on his way to go exit, so next we have to ask, why did he choose?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, that's wrong! Hold on a second.
Huh?
When Celeste testified a few... She never said anything about the... So why did you say Chihiro's blue track...
What are you... Hey, Celeste, what color was...
As a matter of fact,
And before we began the trial...
the only one I told about any of this was you.
Then... Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's...
Because I'm sure he saw the clothes of...
No, that can't be. The bag and clothes were sure...
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possible...
Cherry?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hand.
No, that can't be it either. When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly...
It would appear you dug your own grave.
Perhaps. Could you hand focus on the...
Now your true intention. Well, that's why he said you...
That's right. Mondo was my target all along.
But why?
What? That's a good question. There was a... Maybe you didn't... You only called God, and after he was... Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew you...
Are you a witch?
No. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, did you really?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me! What gives you the right to—
Yeah! He would never do—
It's true.
That was fast.
Well, this does.
That's what my little ghost friend.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me—
Really? Actually, now that I'm...
Jeez, is your confidence—
It happens to be an E-hand.
Shoot! I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook.
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping.
I imagine the culprit broke...
That's odd. I didn't.
You're right. They're totally waterproof and shock.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken for all your confidence.
How?
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has 1 week.
Sure. Maybe I let that slip, but I never.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them
Then we can only assume that you know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to...
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it,
Just tell us already!
oh well. I have a weakness, then allow me to make a special announcement. When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get it. It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer. If the hot air of the sauna were some, that layer of air would get blown. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned—
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to—
meaning the culprit somehow knew its.
But how'd they find out?
Indeed.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness? And if they'd realized it was broken, of course, and once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible. I don't know of anyone who took their handbook.
I might know someone who did. Whoa! I think the one who may have taken their— Here's my answer! Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna.
What?
Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago. And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never— I don't accept this.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct,
You broke your own. In other words, if then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look, Makoto was wrong after all.
Shoot!
let's test Makoto.
If what he said you broke your own. In other words, if not, then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
Shoot!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo You broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's hand, then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
If what he said you broke your own, in other words, if then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
Shoot! I refuse to give up yet!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook.
See? Makoto was wrong after all!
Shoot!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
No, that's wrong! Mondo, the handbook you have right now.
The fuck is that supposed to...
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually you?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actual. But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loan?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of...
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, I'm happy to admit I'm...
Son of... What's wrong, bro? You are wrong! Everything you just...
Okay, then why don't that way, everything will become... You! First, let's... Last night, at the time... That's... With baggage... She made her, and how could the... Here's exactly what happened. With bag in hand, she made her, and how... Here's exactly what happened. With bag in hand, she made her way to the loft. But how could the... killer is you! With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, but how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access it? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook. Once inside, he met with someone there, and the person... It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked it. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster... It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged. I refuse to give up yet! You! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse. At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue track. With bag in hand, she made her way to the locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access? Simple. Because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own hand. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seemed... and attacked. And that... it was... which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. Then, removing the bloody poster... and finally, a girl's handbook. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a... after all, using one of those... and that's exactly how the killer, with the carpet and the poster they brought with them... they changed the lake. That could have been the end of Byakuya discovered the body and decided... So, after he went and grabbed the extension cord from... he used the cord... then, using the victim's own blood, he wanted to create the illusion that genocide... and around the same time that Byakuya was put, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other there, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence. Chihiro's... and just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that, and that's how it... Isn't that right, Mon?
Wait! No! Where's your evidence? You need evidence without any proof? Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! You're corrupt! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! You're corrupt! Show me some evidence! Show me some evidence!
This should prove it! Thinking so, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Lee, in which case, we can just, once we do that...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah, I did it. I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I got... Go ahead, Monokuma. Ask for the god.
Roger that!
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting! No time for the moment we've all been waiting. Who will you elect as the blackened? Will you make the right choice? What's it gonna be? What? Unbelievable.
Sorry.
What is this?
Now then, actually... Ha!
Wait.
Hey, what?
I'm sorry, but... That's right. I want to change.
Hey,
Yeah, that's...
Uh-huh.
Correct. I knew it.
What is this? You're wrong!
Don't make me repeat myself.
Hey!
I just... Don't fuck with me!
I'm sorry. Huh? But I want to change.
You piece of... What?
Huh?
What?
No!
Damn you! Yeah. You son of a bitch! I killed even after all this time. I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Yep.
It can't be.
Well, now, well.
Ridiculous.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment. Let's give it.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to...
Naturally.
Hey, however...
What?
Honestly. There is nothing...
That's right.
I see.
But...
Interesting.
Correct. Indeed. Hey,
What's that?
you. What?
Damn. What the heck?
Damn it! Ooh!
That's enough. In the name of my family.
You're getting all riled up!
Well, anyway, this is a pretty good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and once things really fear and despair? But I must admit, I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on. After all, as long as you don't want to know my measurements. My. I know I said you could ask super denied, ultra denied, and nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right?
I know I should. I've had enough. I can't take it and getting out of here. I can't let myself think about... If I keep thinking like that...
Okay.
Huh? But...
Oh. So then.
How about that?
Well...
Well... Is that okay?
Here we go!
There is nothing to be done.
You know? I'm right?
Perhaps. Well then.
You call... What?
Yes!
You SOB! Ugh.